Hey guys, great time to dive into the markets and what happened in 2024 and see what could be happening early part of 2025. 2024 was all about Magnificent Seven, the likes of Nvidia. I mean, just having an absolute belt in 2024. $50 all the way up to $150, and we kept getting buy signals on this market and buy signals. We did get the ending pattern at $145 here. We had this major divergence in the market. So I do feel like Nvidia is toppy and it has a red pro trend system. Remember, a buy is a green from a red. Okay, so when we get a red into a new green with green tracks, these dots underneath, that is a buy signal. And if we can get a bonus here with a green momentum pointing up at the same time, then that's good. At the moment with Nvidia, it's had a great 2024, in fact 2022, 2023, where it started to grow here with these new buy signals, exploded higher, and the volatility certainly picked up towards the end of the move here. We have this huge divergence, so a little bit concerned that we're very high up on the storyteller. When we get peaky on that storyteller, it means it's overbought. So I'm definitely not a buyer of Nvidia. And if we take a look at Tesla, which really come to life towards the end of 2024, got a brand new buy signal in October here. This is the weekly time frame. Pushed up into profit target after profit target. And you can see that actually November, in fact December's 16th of December, that trading week, we had a big shooting star type candlestick where the wick on the candlestick is much longer than the body. The body looks a little bit like a shooting star, the whole candlestick does. And we got a bit of a rejection. That is often a sign of sellers stepping in. We are high up on the storyteller. Once we get above 8 histograms, we start to get overbought. I'd rather be a buyer when it's buying. The histograms are small down here and the green pro trend system and green track. So I think Tesla could quite easily have a pullback the early part of 2025, and we could see some potential buying opportunities. Let's take a little look at the monthly on Tesla. You know, this lovely buy signal back in July, really did see it push through here. 1, 2, this looks like wave 3 up, wave 4 down, and a new wave up on Tesla at some point. And I think if we can get a decent pullback here and get these storyteller histograms a little bit lower, then we could get a really nice entry on Tesla. Likes of Amazon, you know, fantastic. The Magnificent Seven were just brilliant in 2024. Meta in here looks a little bit toppy on Meta. We are seeing these divergence plays where we're seeing the momentum decreasing as price is increasing, so that is a little bit of a warning sign. I think, you know, if we do get a major sell-off in any of these stocks, we'll see like buying opportunities much further down here, and I think that would be a great opportunity. But let's see how we go. Let's see if we get some reds on the card, on the candlesticks I should say, back in the start of 2025. Last week, you know, we finished on Apple share price, a bit of a doji type candlestick here. We went up for 3 weeks from the 25th of November, 236 all the way up to 250. Really nice move on Apple. It feels like the next move could be down, but we do have another target, $267. All right, so we're high up. It's not the start of the move, that's for sure. It's not the start of the bull market on stocks. That is for sure. We know that. That happened back in 2009. It's just, when are we going to get, you know, a significant sell-off? And what I like to do, guys, I like to look at the volatility index. Okay, so I like to look at the VIX here, and it tells me when the volatility starts to pick up. And when we get down to these levels around 14, you start to see the VIX volatility start to push higher, which means a bit of a sell-off in stocks. But look, we are sort of making a bit of a rounded bottom. It is a bit of a warning flag for stocks here. We are making a higher low. We might get a bit of a spike, but it's a strange chart to trade, the VIX. It's not one that I particularly look to give me the most perfect chart in technical patterns. But, this nice impulsive move up here made the stock market sell off. And now we've corrected it here back to a fib. If we get another red, we could take off, which will put stocks under pressure. Now, if the VIX does explode higher up and gets up to these levels like 35, 40 area, that will be a great opportunity to buy stocks, because we get this contraction and a reversion back to the mean, which is obviously then reduces the volatility. Volatility mainly goes up and stocks go down. All right, so always think about that. When the VIX, the volatility index, gets down at these lows around the 14 area, it's a warning sign that we could have a correction for a day or so. Okay, let's look at some other markets. Palantir was an incredible stock. This had lovely buy signal after buy signal. Remember, a buy signal was from red to a green, and this has not looked back from 46 all the way up to 79. What an incredible move all the way up. We've got a three-wave divergence set up here, though. So the high, the new high, is lower. So it doesn't mean it's going to reverse, have a major correction. It just means it's slowing down. The move is slowing down. It's certainly not the start of the bull market in this stock, is it? Because that happened at the start down here at around $21. And now we've pushed higher. So just be careful, guys. If we're buying up here, we're buying the highs, all right? We don't want to be doing that. So if I look at the FTSE 100 shares, a lot of them are really struggling to get going. We're seeing Next here having a big red sell signal. We got the first one back in the start of December and 10th of December. And now that is selling off. And some of the bigger players, are really struggling. Taylor Wimpey, housing market, selling off really hard. Whitbread, not looking great. That's not in a bull market. That's going to turn red soon. Other markets, Tesco's, had a decent move up here and looks like it wants to roll over with momentum dropping here. So that is not 3i Group. That's had a decent move higher, but now red pro train system. Segro, that's been in a major downtrend. If I go through the FTSE 100s here, there's a lot of them that are really struggling, and a lot of the housing markets shares and house builders have really struggled to get going higher. You can see here Pearson, that's been a lovely bull market, pushed higher. It is starting to slow. We're seeing Storyteller roll over. We're getting yellow lines on the Storyteller, so they are slowing. This stock here, it is starting to lose a little bit of momentum. If I buy this right here, then I'm buying the highs. I want to be looking at the little pullback and get a bit of a dip and then buy the dip on this. But Lloyd's Bank, it's been selling off as well. Some big selling candlesticks. All right, so you can see here a lot of FTSE stocks, really struggling. To JD Fashion having an absolute nightmare of this share price. Let's look at some commodities. Gold here still continues to play out this ABC that's happening. It is red pro trend system, red tracks, red Storyteller. So at the moment, there's no new buy signal. It looks like it needs to drift down to 2,491 before we get a new buy signal. So have a little look back on the weekly time frame here. We're red pro trend system, so that is a warning sign, guys, to not buy any gold at the moment. We need these green buy signals, okay? These early momentum moves to get long some gold. But at the moment, looks like it wants to drift even lower here on gold. Let's dive into crude oil. This is one market that I absolutely love trading, and that is the NYMEX crude oil here, guys. It is a great market to trade, and it's been so quiet since September. I feel like we've got a new buy signal on oil. We've got new parameters set up here. If we start trading above the high of this candlestick next week, then I'm going to be a buyer of oil. We've got this trend line that's running down the highs here. That's obviously going to provide us with a little bit of resistance. But if we can get going here, this could be the start of a really nice move in crude oil, and it looks like that is going to happen. Let's dive into the currencies. The dollar market, the dollar index, US dollar, been incredibly strong. We had this great big triple bottom. Well, you can call it even more than that. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sort of support areas here. We got a buy signal in October, and this market's pushed up to first profit target. Nice 3-to-1 risk reward ratio here. So let's have a little look at the euro on the other side of things. That's been selling off since 109, and we're sitting at a bit of support. We hit profit target at 103.80, so it's just stalling out a little bit here on crude oil, I beg your pardon, on the euro versus the US dollar. Now, what often sees the start of a new trend is if we start to see a bounce off of the golden ratio, which is the 61.8%, okay, here on this whole move. So this retracement area here. So I'm looking out for, a move down to maybe 102 on the euro. And if it wants to start to fire by green buy signals, we could start to really push it higher here on euro dollar. But at the moment, it's selling off. It is down. It is weak and pushing lower. On the other side of things, the yens in 2024 were just absolutely incredible. The dollar yen here, buy signal after profitable buy signal after buy signal. And once again, you see we're sort of been higher on the dollar yen, and it's often stalls around this selling zone, that 76.4%, 61.8% fib. So I'm just seeing how we go here. It's green. There's nothing else to do. We wait for the red. That's where we get our timing from. There's absolutely nothing to do. US dollar, Canadian dollar has been strong, of course. Nice buy signal at 137. And it's been an incredible year for trading the FX market with our ProTrend system. Euro dollar, pound 473 pips, dollar yen 877 points here. Euro yen 149 point move here. It's been an incredible move. The yen pairs were just absolutely fantastic. We had buy signal after buy signal on the yens throughout 2024. I mean, Swissy yen, which isn't in this list. Let me show you Swissy yen. Absolutely incredible. Here you go. I've scrunched the chart up for you to see. Back in 2021, we got breakouts and buy signals from red to green, and this currency pair never looked back. We got warning signs around this 180 area. It actually hit exactly 180. That's the top. And a huge bearish divergence with that diagonal yellow line here. And so now we've had a new buy signal for it last week. Let's see how we can get going. It does look a little bit like we've got some sort of head and shoulders top forming here, guys. And if I draw it here, just get the tool, take it from here, and just to go higher for the left shoulder, down here, there's the head, there's the start of that decline, then this right shoulder here. And so it is a reversal pattern. And let's see, if we start breaking necklines here, we could draw a neckline here, a trend line. If we start breaking that, then that is a signal. But for me, it's too late. When I'm trading head and shoulders patterns, and they are reversals from a big trend, I don't want to wait for a traditional sell signal or a go short entry below this area here. I want to wait. I want to get that right shoulder sell signal right in here. I want to get that red PTS firing, losing momentum down below, and then get in much earlier on this move. Okay, so we're waiting. I think, the Swissy yen with this whole pattern setting up, at some point this right shoulder could become a selling signal and we get a move lower, but there's no signal to short it. That's a great thing about the ProTrend system. We just wait for it to turn red when the sellers step in. Well, what about the crypto market? Bitcoin here, just flying higher. I mean, I bought in at 17,000, and this big three-wave divergence down here, and just higher highs and higher lows. All the way up, we got this zigzag pattern here, which tells us that we're in wave 4, and then this wave 5 explosive move to the upside, which is good. I mean, we've been sideways now. We came off the 100,000. That's the big news of 2024. Bitcoin hits 100,000. And now we're sort of just starting to see maybe a little bit of a pullback, which I think is going to be great. If we can get a nice pullback and buy some more, and let's see if we can get up to 120 and beyond. All right, so looking at that. And some other cryptos here. Cardano, beautiful, impulsive, explosive buy at 44, all the way up to 125. Just now resting. So how deep can this come down before we get a new buy signal? We're not too far away from that. We've got an 80 area here, which is major support. So if we can get down into this zone, it's not too far away, we can see a new buy signal. The tracks are all green still, so that's good. That's healthy. So looking for a pullback here, and maybe Litecoin as well. A little pullback. It goes quiet when these cryptos have a pullback, you know, the markets, the newsletters, the buzz about cryptos goes quiet. But this is the best time to buy it as it's pulling back, getting ready for that next move. Okay, so Bitcoin was a big player up to 100,000 in 2024. Amazing trade that has been. And finally here, let's have a little look at the indexes. This is the NASDAQ. And we're due a pullback on the NASDAQ. What I've done some timing symmetry here. And what I've taken, just the ruler that you can get on any charting platform. If you get the ruler, just measure it from a start of a move to the peak. And let's take this one here. That's 4 months and 4 days. I've taken the low here to this high. That's 4 months, 24 days. And I've taken the low to the high. That's 4 month, 11 days. And when we get to that 4 month period, we have a bit of a pullback. The markets sell off. And so, you know, we're due a sell-off, 4 months, 11 days. So this is timing symmetry. And the storyteller is making a lower high. So we do have some divergences. It would not surprise me if we see a move down. Now, on the NASDAQ here, guys, let me show you. In fact, let me show you. I'll start from this daily chart here. You can see 1 down, 2 up into the selling zone. Watch out. If we get a red here, this could be a wave 3 momentum move and a big one down here. So watch out. And I'm going down to the 4-hour time frame. We're already red, okay? So 4 hour, I shorted this the other day. And I'm looking for the next rally. And if it stays below this 21,842, then we're going to roll over this red PTS and drop potentially down to this 2909 on the 4 hours and further. Okay, so, you know, if I count this wave down, this is wave 1 down, this is wave 2 up, we could see wave 3. So we're at a very, very interesting area in the stock markets. The NASDAQ needs to get above this previous high to really prove to the bulls that we should be going higher. And we're going to make new highs. We stay below this area, which is exactly what, 21,860. We stay below here with a red PTS, guys. We're in trouble. We could see further downside. S&P 500. Let's change the time frames. Go back to the weekly on this. Very much peaking out at these highs. We've had some lovely moves. It just feels like the tracks are turning red as well. It feels like it's overbought, doesn't it? And the Dow Jones Industrial Average now giving us red pro-trend system sell signals in here. So another one that could have a decent size correction. I mean, it was very weak indeed, the Dow Jones. I mean, it sold off for a record amount of days in a row. And then we hit that 41,189 profit target on PTS. These targets come up automatically for you. And then we go getting this bit of a retracement, which could be back to the 38.2% fib. And then we could see much further downside in this market. It's an important start to the end of 2024. I think, you know, this is a little bit worrying on the German DAX here. We've got an extremely flat volatility storyteller here. When it's flat like this, it means a big move is setting up. Okay, so flat storytellers is meaning that there is no volatility, but we are going to get a move at any point. All right, so watch out for the VIX. We could watch out for the DAX, I should say. We could get some very interesting sell-offs here, which you know, I just need to wait for the red pro trend system. On the weekly there is nothing, on the daily there already is. All right, so we've got to get really above, the DAX has got to get above this 20,500, and at the moment it's not doing that. If we get a new green buy signal, that's a long. At the moment we're red. Keep it really simple. All right, so hope it helps, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have seen a huge acceleration in subscribers with the content that's been going up on the site. We want to get through that 5,000 subscribers, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out with the education and the outlook for these markets. Hope it helps, and there are some free courses in the description down below. Dive into those as well. And look, let's have a little chat before New Year, and we'll see how the markets open up after the Christmas period. And that's going to be a fantastic 2025. I feel like it's not going to be so much of a buy and hold and close your eyes. I feel like it's going to be a trading year. So you've got to be nimble. You've got to have the right systems to get in and out of these trades. All right. So I hope it helps. Speak to you soon. Take care.